Sporting, and he's here just about a year. What can you say about his time with the club?
Yeah, I was thoroughly enjoyed being in the locker room with him and on the training field and in games, watching him interact with everyone here in at LAFC. And it was amazing to have him as a part of our club for the year he was here. I think recently he's been in good form, and so we'll definitely miss him. But we'll get one more game with him this Sunday.
Did you just feel like you couldn't use him for full matches? Was that just the reality of his place in the roster, that he wasn't a 90-minute player?
I wouldn't say that. I would say, leading into every game, we as coaches use information we get in training, in previous matches, to assess and to see what gives this club and the team the best chances to win that particular game. That's it.
Ante had described him as being in an advanced state. I think the match where he coached in your place, that's how he described him.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the player that you saw come in? Just the player in an advanced state?
You can ask Ante that.
So you don't have a feeling on it?
That's his comment. You can follow up with him on that.
As far as the Como Cup, obviously you guys have spoken a lot the last 3 games and the last basically 2 weeks about your experiences day to day and with the league. And you talked about what you think you got out of that tournament. Coming out of that tournament, where is your group? How do you feel like they're going to respond to this experience they had? And physically, what are you expecting now? Because it's basically midweek the rest of the way through. So what do you?
Yeah, it was a great experience, and we're very happy and grateful that we got the chance to prove ourselves at that stage. 12 days, 3 games, 5 hotels, 3 road games. So it's I think we all feel the travel a little bit and the challenges that we were met with over the last 2 weeks. But after watching training today, it was great to see the players physically and mentally in a great spot. And so I'm looking forward to the game Sunday. And yeah, moving forward, it's a tough stretch in the summertime. It always is in MLS. There's a lot of games, but I think our roster is structured for that. And certainly we need to maybe add some players in the summer transfer window, but we have a couple weeks until then. And until then, it's only about the MLS and accumulating as many points as possible.
Not having Olivier is one less option for
Correct.
you. Do you feel like Nathan Ordaz will be able to contribute as you covered from his issues? And where are you? Just the health of your players overall. Where are you?
The health is fine. Yeah, everybody's healthy and ready to go, including Nate.
Playing in these games where you play Chelsea and Flamengo and one of the best teams in Africa, how do you think on the field that will benefit your team? I mean, in the sense, like, it's a different way, the extra less of a touch. How do you think that will transfer to the MLS schedule, and how much of a benefit or difficulty will it be?
Well, it completely depends on our players and what they learned from that moment. We have done our best to talk about the games, review the games, and what was good, what wasn't so good, and what is feasible to use in MLS play. Having that said, I think we learned a lot. I think players also learned that there's another level out there, and I think that the faster you have to play, the higher you go up, the less mistakes you can make, because mistakes are punished a little quicker at the highest level, and the moments you have in front of the opponent's goal become less. So that really increases the importance of each action out there. And I think that is something you learn the higher up you go in this game, and certainly a lesson we learned in the last 2 weeks. It's a shame that not every MLS team can do that, and because I think it's going to be important for our league too to understand that is a different way of seeing the game than how we oftentimes interpret it here. The intensity and the importance of each action is something that I hope that every MLS game can increase in.
Something you'll remember fondly of this experience, meeting these coaches, these players, seeing these guys, that you'll help you in your pursuits, and just something you'll remember.
Yeah, for me, for sure. When I prepare match sheets and we document everything, and we look at the scouting report, and it's basically like a 2-page document where you summarize everything, and you have the opponent's logo on there, and not every day do you match up LAFC's logo with the clubs of Chelsea, Esperance, and Flamengo, and that was pretty cool.
What do you think about the Club World Cup? Did you watch some other games not involving you? Is it
Yeah.
something that you were enthralled by? Or?
Yeah, I think it was great. I think watching, we had a taste of that the last couple of years of the League Cup, of seeing the styles and the different approaches kind of clashing against each other. I find it very interesting. I think there can be some fine tuning as far as length, scheduling, and all of that. But that's just all organizational stuff that kind of you learn as you go, or learning by doing. But I think the tournament was and is fun to watch, and I'm really looking forward to the latter rounds.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, we'll open it up to questions online. If there are none, that will do.
Can I just ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the Vancouver match, obviously they actually filled me in. They have a lot of players missing, some important players for them. You guys are just jumping right back into the deep end of the pool here against the team that's had a lot of success in the first part of the season. What do you make of where they are at this particular moment and how you match up for them after, again, playing three distinct different styles? Maybe the speed of the game was a little bit different. How do you see your players adapting back to the MLS style?
I think it's an opponent we know pretty well. And I think we have a ton of experience in our roster, who knows the MLS, who understands the MLS. And frankly, the pace of the game should be dictated by us. And having seen Vancouver this year with what Jesper has done with his team, they certainly don't want to slow things down either. And so I think the pace of the game will be attractive. It should be fun, which can suit both teams. So I'm looking forward to certainly a very good MLS game.
On players like Olivier, sort of elder statesmen, people who've had a lot of success internationally, but maybe coming over to MLS at an older age, there's risk in that, right? You don't know necessarily what you're getting, and maybe there's risk in every signing. You don't know necessarily what you're getting, but is there some reflection there in bringing players of that advanced state, as Ante said? Maybe, I know case by case matters, but thinking about them in a different way after this Olivier experience?
I will. No, I won't. I don't agree with that statement at all. Yours. I think there are always risks when you bring new players in. You never know for sure how a player's qualities will translate into our team and the league. Of course, throughout years of experience and having a very clear game model, having a very clear description of the player we want to onboard, that minimizes the risk. And I think here at LAFC we've done a very good job of doing that. But there always is an unknown factor that you just don't. There are some things you cannot know. And so I don't think that is specific to any age group, any nationality, any position. There's always a factor that you just don't know. And that is true of every team on the planet. There is not one team or scouting department or management on the planet that has gotten everything right. That doesn't exist. It's the beauty of the sport and the environment we live in and the business, quite frankly. So you'll never be able to protect yourself from things that don't go maybe 100% to plan. But I wouldn't put this particular case in that category. It's just a shorter stint here than he's had at other clubs. That's it.
Last from me, you've watched a lot of the Club World Cup knockout round now. Do you have a favorite? Do you see any of these 16 as the winner?
Tough to say. It really is. Like, you've seen sometimes the heat can make a big difference in the performances of certain clubs, and some would say they have more an advantage, some say they're at a disadvantage. I will say, after going through the 12 days, the 5 hotels, and the 3 away games, that wears on teams, and some clubs are better equipped for that than others. And so there's also a little bit of fatigue going on as well for these players, mentally and physically, of being away from home for so long. Also normal for a World Cup, if you've been involved in one in the latter stages. But yeah, I think there are some teams who are playing good football, who are excellent, who have the ability. I think Bayern Munich is one of those for sure. I think Man City looks very strong, and I think our opponent Flamengo, I think is a very good opponent. I think they have a very complete roster that can surprise a lot of European teams.